Alright, in this video we'll create a section called laptop specification on a single product page, and it will display the specification of the laptop like processor, RAM, SSD and screen size. Now here the problem that we have solved is the client has two products in their website, let's say t-shirt and category laptop. He wanted a layout specific for laptop that displays the specification just below the title. So this is how we have solved this. So what I did is I created a box and placed all the required specification which he asked me to add over here just below the title. So these information are coming from the custom field. So once you get into the edit product page, you'll find a tab called advanced. Once you click on it, you'll find these information, these fields. Once you fill it, it will get populated and it will be rendered in this format. So this is a business requirement. Now let's look at the plugin developer point of view. So what I did is I created a custom field as we usually do. In the advanced field, I have added the HTML. That's the first step. The second step is to save this custom field, we have to link these field to the save button. So that's the second step. Rendering HTML is done, saving HTML is done. Now we have to display these information in a page. So that we will call it as a template, and that template we will fetch all the information and make this beautiful with CSS, and this template is also ready. Now the fourth step is I want to call that template just below our title.php. We have already seen, this is episode number 12, we are dissecting what single product folder has in the core WooCommerce plugin. In the core WooCommerce plugin, all the section, all the elements which you see here has a particular file attached to it. Let's say title.php, variation.php, upsell.php, related.php, review.php, tab.php. So these are coming from single product folder. So we are what I did is we have created a template that displays this HTML beautifully, and now I'll attach this template to the title.php, and in the title.php, just after the title, our template will be called and it get displayed in this way. So this is the point of plugin developer, and I have shown you how to use it. So once you get on edit product, you make sure your laptop category is clicked only when you will see these information. So once you see this information, just fill it and wait for them to load it on the front end. So that's how the usage works. Without wasting time, let's get into the code. For the first thing, what we need to do is let's just get into the plugin folder. We have to create a plugin. So we'll call this plugin as, we can name anything, let's say WooSpecs SVCS, and we want a PHP file inside WooSpecs folder that will give more information about your plugin. And now we want to show our plugin in this particular page. So for that we need to pass some more information like plugin name, description, version, author name. We do it with the help of the PHP command WooSpecs author UI monk. If I make a refresh, you'll find the plugin would get displayed. Now once I activate it, so in the edit page, now you won't see the custom field which we have linked on the advanced tab. In the advanced tab, there is no such fields. Now we need to attach those fields, and this is how we'll call a hook, and that hook will call a function, and that hook is nothing but for the advanced tab specific. So you can see advanced, so you can see there's a text called advanced. So once this hook runs, my function will get run. Once my function runs, I am rendering the HTML. So WordPress uses the function, so it will take care of sanitizing it. It will take care of CSRF token. It will take care of nonce. So once we use this default function, which WordPress helper function, which WordPress itself provide. So these are input field. So we have ID, we have label, we have description, we have description tips and description. So ID is nothing. ID can also be act as a name attribute in this particular feature of WordPress, which usually once I save, I'll just show you. Let me create a add product, and we want our field to only show on the category called laptop. So this is category, this is the WordPress default taxonomy, it's a keyword, and if this is the post ID. So if we set laptop, and the laptop that we are going to add is Dell Inspiron 15. First we need to save so that our custom field, so that WordPress know this category has a custom field. And before expecting the change, make sure your plugin is active. And now you see you have all the custom field that need to have for the laptop. So RAM, so this code simply says if it's not laptop, then don't show. If it is laptop, then show these below fields. So once these fields are set, let's insert some of the values, and if you click on publish, it won't work because we have skipped the second step. So it's just the rendering of HTML. To make the field save, we need to call a hook, and since it's PHP, what we do is we would get all the input field name attribute, and if the name attribute is set, what we do is we'll just insert them as a key value pair. So WordPress saves all the data in the WP post table, and all the custom field data will be in the WP post meta table. So in the post meta table, the values are stored in key and value based on the product ID. If product ID is 69 and the key is RAM and the value is whatever you write here, so that's how it gets stored. So let's add the hook for saving. I'm going a bit fast because we have already covered this since it's episode number 12, we have already got deep into it. So this is the hook that takes care of saving, and this is a function that get called when this hook runs. Now we have passed all the name attribute into an array, and it will be passed one by one. Let's consider RAM. So this RAM attribute is stored as a key, is RAM, and the value which you receive from the text field it's stored as a value. First it's check whether the value is not empty. If the value is not empty, then set the key and set the value. This will happen for all four since it's in the for loop. Now this is the second step that we have completed. This should work once we click on save. So the RAM, the SSD, and click on update. If everything goes well, you should see all the fields retained after the page refresh. That works. Now the second thing is we want to beautify, or we want to call the saved value into a template. Let's call it into a template and save it into the same folder, and we'll call it as specs.php. And in this specs.php, we will simply call all the values which we have stored. So as I said, this is key, and the value that we receive will be stored into the variable. So first we are checking whether we are in the laptop, whether the category is laptop or not. So to simplify, we can just remove all, and if there is value or not, if there is no value, then return. So let's see. This is very simple code that is required to display the specs which you have entered, and it's like a PHP CRUD operation. So all the data we have received from the table post meta with the help of WordPress helper function get post meta, and storing it into a variable. And this is the HTML which simply simply check whether there is a value. If there is a value, then render this HTML. Same way, if there is a value, render this HTML. Since it's a text field, I have repeated it. If one of the value is empty, so that value won't be displayed. So this is a required CSS. Now we have created this specs.php. Now we need to attach this specs.php so that we can see them whichever place we want. So let's pick a place. Here I have not added the image, that's why it's not showing up. Also the price is not added. So the price, regular price is 80,000 and I have made it 75,000 and click on update. Before updating we can also add the image. So now you see we have the image, we have the price. So just below our title I want the, what do you want? I want to show the details of, I want to render this HTML. So now we need to override the folder. So this is how. First let's pick the title.php. So copy the title.php, you'll find it in templates, you'll find it in single.php, and get into title.php. Copy this and get into a folder specs and create templates, and inside templates we need a single product. Inside single product we want our title to be there. So in the title.php just call this template. So in WordPress the way we call is we'll use template directive, plugin directive. So that caused me an error. So instead what we do is we'll define the root folder in the WooCommerce specs.php. So let's define the root folder and we'll store it as constant. So this is where, so what this will do is it will just give the link till here, till specs. Now we use this to include in our title.php. So over here we include, this is the key, this is the constant, and this is the file name. Now we need to say to the WordPress, now this won't work. We need to say to the WordPress that whenever my plugin is active, look for the template that I have overridden. So WordPress, I'll create a hook. So what this hook will do is it tells WordPress, look for this particular template, look for this particular folder when WordPress tries to load default WooCommerce core files. Let's say WordPress wants to load related.php or tab.php. I have overridden related.php or tab.php into my plugin. This code will say that instead of, if you find some of the WordPress core file in my plugin, load them instead of WordPress core files. So that's what it does. So this is the path, and whenever WordPress looks for title.php, sku.php, meta.php, price.php, so this is the location, or you can say relative path. So if the relative path matches with my plugin way of organizing, so that's why you have seen why I have made this the same structure as you see on the WooCommerce folder. So if it finds, then what do is load my template. So my template, you can find it on over here. So this is the path I'm giving, and this is the template. So it's title.php in this example. So my title.php will get loaded. If everything goes smooth, you should see just below the title, you should see the HTML, and you won't be finding this on the t-shirt because it's specific to the category laptop. So that's what this code does in the specs.php. So I have removed the code. You see this code. If it is not laptop, then remove it. Now you will see this laptop specification will be gone. So it will check if there is a category, then only display then only render the HTML, or else don't do it. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening.